Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do kind of like a top 5, 6, 8, whatever of palettes. And you guys already know that palettes are my personal weakness. It does not matter. I love them all. It is what it is. So I have quite a few of them because that's just my thing. And I got it down to about 6 palettes, which is pretty good. And I think these are must-haves in a collection. And I'll kind of go through them, show you them, explain why I think that. Yeah, I just thought this would be kind of cool to do. And if you guys like this, I could do this with lipsticks. I could do this with eyeliners. And, you know, we can kind of turn it into top products of each kind of product. But yeah, let's get into it. And I won't really go in any particular order. And some of these might actually be kind of surprising to you, and some probably not so much. Few of these are not as simple to find anymore. I will do my best to see if I can find them. Now, if I can find them online for like $200 when it was normally a $40 to $50 palette, I will not link that below for you. I think that's crazy. But if I can find certain ones for a reasonable price, I will link them below for you. So my first one, and you guys have seen me use this so much, is the Too Faced The Little Black Book of Bronzers. This came out like a couple years ago, then it went away, then it came back. And when it came back is when I got my hands on it, and I believe it's kind of hard to find again, but again, I'll look. Why I love this, I'll just kind of show you. You guys already know too, if you are familiar with bronzers from Too Faced, that the Milk Chocolate Soleil right here in the middle is like a fan favorite, whether you buy it in an individual or not. But I love this. I think the packaging is super cute and sleek. I like how thin it is. But I think what's so great about it is I use all of these. I really do. Maybe this Beach Bunny one I haven't used too much, but majority of them I do. And I can use the dark chocolate one and darken it up, or I can do kind of a shimmery one and do that if I want kind of more that summery look. I just think this is it. This is perfect. I really enjoy mixing these. That's typically what I do. Although the Milk Chocolate Soleil, that can kind of just be used on its own. It's such a perfect bronzing color. Kind of like the Hoola Benefit people love as that perfect bronze. I feel that way about this. Believe it or not, I've actually never used Hoola Benefit bronzer. What? I know, it's crazy. There's no particular reason why that is. I just haven't, and I need to eventually, right? Now, Too Faced, of course, sells pretty much all of these as far as I know still. Maybe some color changes have happened over the last year or two, all individually. And I want to say individually, these are about $30 a pan. And the pans you get when you do buy them individually are going to be bigger. But I mean, that's why I think this is so great. And when this did come out, it was $50. And so you were getting a little bit of everything all in one. I just love this. I love it. I use it all the time. And it does smell like cocoa. Yeah. I have to be careful how loud I say that. The cat's asleep under me right now. Her name's Coco. So second one, this is one that might be a little bit surprising to you, but I really am going to put it on my must-have. Out of all my palettes, I still go to this so much, and there's a few reasons why I really do like it. Now, this is the Naked Basics palette by Urban Decay. It's even a little bit dirty, but this is the Basics one, not Basics 2, although I do have that one as well. I love this one. It's a lot more warmer tone, which is just what I prefer. Guys, this is probably my number one, is this Venus color right here for highlighting under my brow. In fact, I have that today, and I go to that color so much. What I love about it is that you can take this with you so simply, right? Because it's so small. It's so travel friendly, which is great, but I feel like the colors in it are fantastic. You have enough in there to create a look. And you can go dramatic or not and just give yourself a little bit of something. You could even use this shimmery color here on the side and not do it so much to highlight, but to do all over your whole lid. I just think it's actually a very universal palette for only being 6 shades, you know, and one of those being black. I'm sure you have seen this. This has been out a while. I love to use this WOS color. I think is like the perfect, for me, shade just to set an eye primer completely. I go to that color a lot. I have not hit pan on these, but I'm very surprised because I have used this so much. But let me just show you, since I'm talking about it, the Naked Basics 2. And so I can kind of, and this is one that actually did get broken. Hate that. My kiddo. But it was just a black shade, so luckily I already have that. But the Naked Basics 2 is up here on top, and this was a matte black. But you'll see it's extremely similar, but this one on top is the Naked 2, and it's very, a lot more cool toned. And I just find that I don't go to it as much, and I like the Naked Basics original. That is still available, and I want to say the price point on it is like $30, but again, I'll put it below. But I would highly, highly recommend this palette for sure. Staying on that same kick, I'm going to pick out of the Naked palettes, well, besides the Basics one, but the Naked 1, 2, and 3, and then the Smoky. I'm going to pick the Smoky one. It's so pretty, guys. So pretty. I love this, and I think the quality is amazing. But what I love, and that I feel was a big complaint on the first Naked palettes, Naked 1 and 2 especially, is that it had so many shimmery colors, which is beautiful. But in a palette that offers like 12 different shades, you kind of want to be able to get a good mix. And those just didn't really offer it. I think it has 1 or 2 shades in it that are like, oh, okay. I love that when they came out with this one, that to me, it's almost like they essentially made identical colors. These 4 and these 4 are identical, except one side's matte and one side is shimmery, and I just love it. And then of course you have these middle shades to darken up, and it's not just your traditional matte black. Yeah, I've used this a handful of times. I love it. The only thing a little bit maybe like a disadvantage to the marketing of it is you see the smoky and you're gonna assume, oh well, that's just for a smoky eye and I don't really do that and whatever, right? You might be kind of turned off from it, but I think, and I have used this multiple times, just these 4 colors, and created something that's not a smoky eye. So I just think it's actually a very like universal palette for someone's taste. I'm gonna pick this one, and I feel, I could be wrong, but I feel that a lot of people actually didn't fall in love with this one and would still probably pick the Naked over it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it and I have it, it's beautiful. But I don't know, I think if I had to pick, it would be this one. Best contour kit, and I'm sure this is not shocking at all, but I gotta go with the Kat Von D Shade Light palette. I don't think anyone's really gonna disagree, whether it's their favorite or not, that it's a bad palette, because this thing is truly amazing. I have hit pan on this middle shade. I have been loving this one as of recently to contour with, which is what I do have today. I love it. Now I do think that the Anastasia contour kit, which I do have as well, right here, at first I kind of preferred this one, and you know, the colors and stuff, although they are very, very similar. But I do feel that, again, this is more on the warmer tone side, and I actually prefer this one once I started really playing with them back and forth. But I still love this, and it's funny because people, I'll see that a lot. Well, they'll go, which one would you recommend? Would you recommend the Anastasia or the Kat Von D one? And I will say, I pick Kat Von D, but if you pick this Anastasia one too, you're in good hands. It's not a bad choice by any means. I do think though, you do get a little bit more in the Kat Von D as far as the size, like of the pans. So there you go there. Although I think this palette is a little less in money, so depends how you look at it. I do love the banana color shade, maybe actually a little bit more than the Kat Von D one specifically, if I was comparing those two. But for the bronzing colors, I will pick Kat Von D for sure. I think every girl should have this, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. I almost pulled it, and I'll still bring it up, but I didn't. And no, well, should we do it? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Is the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye Palette. I was like, oh, definitely, definitely. But then I kind of picked some other ones instead. But this is a great palette too, you guys. And what's so cool is all the shades are matte. So for a highlight and blush palette, this was actually kind of hard for me because I have a few now and I love them all. But I think we're gonna go with the Jaclyn Hill Becca Champagne Glow Face Palette. And this Prosecco Pop, although Champagne Pop is kind of like the amazing color, I love this Prosecco Pop as well. But why I went ahead and picked this palette was because you did also get the blush, the bronze, 2 blushes actually. Well, technically I think they're all 3 blushes. I wouldn't really use this as a blush. I would use this as like a topper to bronzer, but that's just me. Why I like it too is I feel like these shades could also be used as eyeshadow, which I think is great. And again, kind of a little bit more of a universal palette. And you know, at the end of the day, there's no rules in makeup, right? Like, you do whatever you want. Someone even said they wanted to recreate the USA look that I kind of did, but they didn't have a red eyeshadow. And I'm like, do you have a red liquid lipstick? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, go nuts. You can make this work. It's out of the comfort zone for sure, but you can totally do it. But I really like that you can take a palette that maybe is meant for just your eyes or just your face. Go nuts, you know? Change it up. Who cares? At the end of the day, it's powder, guys. Put it wherever. I'm going to pick that one, although I got to admit, right now, that glow kit behind me by Anastasia is amazing. It's amazing, but I still went with this one because you did get an array of colors, not just highlighters. So yeah. Last palette, and I'm going to generalize this a little bit for you guys because I do think, like, specifically this one is not available, best of my knowledge, is the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette from Morphe. This is just me. Like, these colors are just me, and I love corals, I love oranges. You guys know I love them, and this palette is amazing and the quality is amazing. But I'm gonna show you this, even though this one specifically is not available. I highly recommend every girl into makeup, heavily or not, should get a palette by Morphe or BH. I think those are both great options. Coastal Scents I don't have personally, but I've heard kind of the same with it. But they sell palettes like this. They're very big. They usually have 30 something colors in it, sometimes 20, but like a good amount of colors. They run from like $20 to $30. I mean, it's pretty affordable for what you're getting, and I think this is such a great way to get creative. A lot of the times, like, you know, a Naked Smoky palette or Naked palette in general, it really is going to stick to your nudes. And it's going to be probably what you'll wear most of the time. But, you know, at the end of the day, how creative can you really get with this, right? And I feel like when you start putting these big pops of color into a palette, that's when it really gets you like, oh, don't let it like scare you. Look at it and know I can make something really cool or something very different than what I would normally do, and the quality is there. So I would just definitely recommend getting a palette like this where it's maybe majority in your comfort, but there's going to be colors in there that just inspire you. And that's what I really love about Anastasia's palettes as well, like any of them for that matter, like her artist palette, right? This one came out into last year. Look at these colors. Now you still have a few kind of like nude colors, but then you've got this yellow, like what? And green and this pink and blue. I love it. I love it. And it wasn't a turn off of like, well, I won't use it. No, I love it. And so, but I do think that if I had to pick one all around, it would be a palette like this by Morphe, by BH, and kind of a mix of colors. What I'll do, since this one specifically is not on sale anymore because it's older, it was limited edition, I will go onto Morphe's site or BH, and I will link below one that I would definitely get myself and recommend based on what I'm telling you with that. I think that's gonna do it. Those are the palettes that I chose. This was not easy for me, guys. It just wasn't. But I thought I would share that with you. And let me know in the comments if you have any of the ones that I've talked about and what do you think of them. Like, would you agree that those are your must-haves? Are you not a fan of them as much as you thought you would be, etc. And if you do not have any of these, I highly recommend it. But I would like to know what is on your must-have list for a palette. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more like these. That'll let me know. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys very soon.